so you will end up with a blinking car every now and again. But we love everyone just the same out there, but it does impact their ability on the track to get the job done on Sundays on occasion. And, my heart goes out to them because I know if they could afford to, ump the ante a little.
Oh. Looks like I might actually be sending data. I believe we're live again.
Allegedly.
Supposedly, we're live again.
Yes, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to apologize. We are having technical difficulties. It's that crappy British internet failing us yet again.
We'll just say some transatlantic cable got snipped or something.
Sure.
But now that we are live, I think it's best to give a small update on what happened. Joey Burgee tried to get into the pits and messed it up on the way in, so he didn't have a front end, so he had to wait to repair that.
He got annihilated by the 21.
Ah.
Yeah, and then he did a little bit of the old RQ rage quit, so
yeah,
it did have 3 minutes of optional and 45-second hold for getting slammed into pit road, so he had an unsafe pit entry by none other than the 21 machine driven by Clarence Prince tonight. But Clarence is brand new to iSNF. Not sure what his experience is in road course racing. It looks like quite a bit better than me.
The thing is,
it was accidental.
In his defense, he hadn't put a wheel wrong all night until that point.
Yeah.
And that was just that's your one mulligan, kid. As Marcus Hagman now with a 5.5-second lead over Austin Cook. The Slayer 54 currently showing the way.
Yep, and I think closest battle at the moment is Isaac Wilson trying to chase down Carl Rourke for 10th.
And Wilson still has that heavy damage on his car. But how about the drives from the 66 and the 48? John Nidak Jr. Currently up 12, sitting in 5th. Same goes for William Brown after pit starting. He's currently sitting in 7th, up 12.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, we have some... Yeah, Johnny Nidak Jr. Driving that 66 for MBM Motorsports. Definitely having a really good night. Someone I didn't expect to be running as high as he is right now at this point of the race. My hat's off to him. Yeah, you're right, 12 spots up. William Brown, who was subbing for Brian Treadwell tonight, having a great night running in P7. He is also up 12 spots, like you said. So a couple of guys here really over the first dozen laps here really made some headway on such a long track that's hard to do. So I'm impressed.
Yeah, I mean, especially with as slick as this track is right now, with the heavy humidity that's in the air, the fact that these guys are able to make the moves that they're doing, make those passes cleanly, and get to where they currently are, that's nothing short of miraculous. But they still have an uphill battle to climb, as Nidak is over a minute back from your leader. Sorry, 15. No, I had that right the first time. He's a minute back from the leader.
Is he?
Just about.
I see
45.
That as 20 seconds.
I'm sorry, I was looking at Brown. Is 45 seconds back. So yeah, Nidak, plenty of time to make that up if he continues on the same pace that he's currently running. Only 3 drivers that last time by went sub 120s, and that was Francisco Villarreal, Skylar Carnes, and William Brown. So, I mean, there's still a lot of pace to be had out there. But if you take a look, you're talking about a 3-second fall off after 17 laps for most of these guys.
Yeah, I would say that sounds like they're wanting to come in for a pit stop soon then, but with limited tyres, maybe not.
They've only got 2 sets that they can change onto. They got
Yeah,
three total sets to get them through the night. And I might just say that Rhea was being a little evil when she decided to only give 3 total sets here tonight.
Yeah, you know, that's just sometimes I like to have a little Cheshire the Cat moment and have that evil grin upon myself, just for my own personal humor, satisfy that anyway. No, I just think that this is not a tire eater track. And I think that people are not going to really duck down on the pit road unless they absolutely need gas anyway. So what's the point in giving them extra sets of tires that they're really not going to use, right? So, I mean, I think they're going to be able to do this in 2 or 3 pit stops, and that's really all they're going to need.
Well, we're going to find out as with a 65% fuel fill, we're getting to that point in the race where you're probably going to need some go fast in the tank. Currently getting ready to put 18 laps in the books, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, what happened?
The 6 just went around.
Ooh.
Stepped on his own junk.
So I am told that we can go about 22 laps on fuel. That's allegedly the pit window. So
that's just about 66 by the end. Well, they need to do 64, so...
Correct. So depends on what your fuel mileage is and strategy along with that concept. So, yeah.
As long as you're not wasting fuel going after spinning every 5 laps, I'm sure they'll probably be okay.
Right. Marcus Hagman's still leading the way now. He's got a 10-second gap now over second place Austin Cook. And FJ himself running P3 right now, and Skylar Carnes running 4th. Johnny Nidak still hanging on there in P5, rounding out your top 5 currently running. Again, you know, these guys, some of them I didn't expect to be up here, but here we are, about what? Quarter of the way through it's about a quarter way through the race, isn't it?
Almost a third.
About a third, yeah. Not great at math.
Let's take a look at Nidak as he is all over Skylar Carnes right now. Carnes having big issues coming through the S's as they go into the carousel. Only about a 3 car length separate the two. Nidak was really able to close the gap going through there, and we're about to see what's going to happen going in the uphill. As you know as well as I do, that car tends to get light as you go through turns 2 and 4.
The elevation change will definitely do it to you.
Oh, absolutely. The only track that's worse with a car getting light is Mid-Ohio.
I don't think I've raced that one before.
I don't try it in a Cup car.
I've done it in a GT3, and that was quite interesting.
And those have traction control.
Yeah. And, you know, downforce.
ABS. Yeah, that too.
I'm pretty sure the downforce in this car is the weight.
Pretty much. Let's see if Carnes can get through the S's a little bit better than he did the last time. The answer to that, it looks like a definite maybe.
Yes.
Ooh, Austin's got some front end damage on that 33 machine. Wonder where that came from.
I'm thinking chrome horn.
Probably, yeah.
Let me go back and see if I can find anything. Yeah, that was a chrome horn because he's not showing up as having hit anything.
So I think an interesting question from me, how do the lapping rules tend to work when you're on a road course for these types of things?
As far as, do you have to get out of the way?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it's
expect-
usually a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is hold your line.
Yeah, I mean, you get the blue flag with the yellow, diagonal stripe on it. If you're as lucky as I do, or I am, I have this new setup here where my keyboard and my mouse pad and all that stuff lights up the color of the flag that I'm given. So if my keyboard lights up blue, I know I've got a blue flag, and I start looking in that mirror and start making some room for people. Try to find one of those deep corners to kind of hang out in the pocket and let them go by on the inside. And when you get in the carousel and some of those places, in the S curves especially too, it can be tricky. But that's generally what I do. Though is I try to come up with a game plan. Where's my next out for the faster car behind me?
And if your keyboard lights up yellow, I'm assuming you brace?
Pretty much.
Well, and if it's an area, so area cautions are what we have tonight. It being a road course, we don't have the full field cautions, or the full course, I should say. But so what happens when you have an area caution, I've noticed, is my keyboard will flash yellow. Yeah. So, but now I even get the red flag when we're still just gridding. That's considered to be a red flag, I guess. But it's neat. My speakers light up and everything too.
So it's similar to the iRacing iFlag.
Yeah.
Which is a big light box that you can mount somewhere on your rig, that it shows what flag is being hurled at you.
Yeah. So
when they go purple, that's when you got to worry.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Because purple is as close as they can get to a black light.
Yeah. So I mean, Razer, they've nailed it when it comes to matching what iRacing has for settings in the old graphics there. If you turn on game lights and stuff, anything that is the chroma version of the Razer product, it will synchronize with that, and it will show you whatever flag is going on. So it looks like Austin Cook's coming up on some lap traffic here. P4 trying to get around Mulvey. No, actually, it's not a lap car.
Yeah, it was just after a pit.
Okay. So he's trying to make up some ground here to pass Mulvey.
Yeah, so he's got some new tyres, but it was good to hear that stuff about the keyboard, because, as I said while we were off air for a little bit, I do need to get a new one.
Well, now you know which one to get.
Yeah.
I'll send you the link for all the goodies.
Yes, please. I'll see if I can find it in a store near me.
Or an Amazon warehouse that hasn't been blown away.
Too soon. As we've got a new leader.
We do.
Johnny Nidak. He hasn't pitted yet.
Still, that's impressive. Up 16 from where he started this piece, and having pit started, leading this race. Hagman peeled off to get his services done on the 54. As I dare say, Nidak's probably going to have to bring it in this time.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more fuel he's going to have left in that tank.
I would assume so. This is probably pushing it, I think.
Safe bet. As he's working his way around the double deuce of Marshall Moran through the S's, and yep, here we go.
There you go.
Nidak's in. He's going to relinquish that 5.5 second lead that he had over Marcus Hagman. And there goes Hagman, there goes Nidak, and back to the point, the world's fastest Swede.
And now he's got a 23.8 second lead over Austin Cook in second place. That's incredible.
Absolutely. I mean, that's unbelievable when you do the math for it.
Yeah, that's the type of thing of where good luck catching that unless Marcus Hagman just makes a terrible mistake.
Well, it doesn't even have to be his mistake. We saw Joey Berge get taken out. So, that's got to be weighing on Hagman's mind of, what are these lap cars going to do when I get to them? But
it's the type of thing where I'd probably be annoying people in game chat, asking them where they're going.
I would probably be singing them a certain Ludacris song. And those of you who know his catalog of songs know exactly which song I would be singing.
It's like Casey Tomlinson in the 7 machine, running P17 right now. He's got all kinds of issues, missing a hood, and keeps going off track. I've noticed he's tripping my crashometer here quite a bit.
Yes, he is. He's not having a good time of it, that's for sure.
No, he's not.
Take a quick look at our top 4 in points. Hagman was coming in tonight third in points, only 18 points out of the lead. Austin Cook was another 40 points back from Marcus. Those guys are running 1-2 right now. The only bad news for them is current second place in points coming into tonight. Francisco Villarreal in the 23 is currently holding down P3 in the race.
Yeah, and that's a driver coming into this one who is not good at road courses, quote unquote, but
freely admits it.
He's put a lot of practice in this week for this event, and if you practice, you're going to do better on Sunday. And he is aiming for a championship, and that's what championship drivers do. For him to just be casually running around the track like he said he was going to do and running P3 right now, that's phenomenal, and it's probably exactly where he wants to be and possibly finish. So incredible race by Francisco so far. I would like to see what he can do the latter half of the race. I think originally Joey Berge was the one to beat, and had that incident not happen on pit road, we'd be singing a different tune. But Marcus Hagman's lighting it up right now, and he's got his sights on a championship as well. And I don't know, because we've got what Jalen Battle's coming. He's in P9 right now, so he's got competitors ahead of him in points.
P9 a lap down too. It's surprising he's already a lap down.
Yeah.
That just shows you the pace that some of these front runners are putting in. There's only 7 cars on the lead lap, and that's the 7th car right in front of your leader, Marcus Hagman. That is the 00 of Damian Mulvey, as they both work around Mike Iskandar. Whoa!
That was a bit of a slam into the wall. That's
definitely
another
a
one
first
as well.
You say it, then you do it kind of moment. He tried to cut inside Iskandar, and unfortunately was trying to put the power down too aggressively and just blast that tire wall. And immediately tows it because that engine hand grenaded when he did it.
Yeah, well, I guess that just shows how careful you have to be on throttle in these.
Very much so. You're talking almost 900 horsepower in a 3,600-pound tank on 10-inch wide tires. You were talking that you ran the new Formula One car here. That car weighs less than half as much, and the tires are twice as wide.
Yeah, I wonder where you got that line from.
Same place you got your pitting for ice cream line from.
Oh, Great movie, though.
All right, now are we still under a caution? Why don't you go back out on the track and hit the pace car?
That's right. Hit the pace car?
Hit the pace car.
What for?
You hit every other damn thing out there. I want you to be perfect.
Oh my gosh, we did that well.
Greatest line in a movie ever.
Yes.
Next to the scene after the ice cream scene.
Oh, definitely.
Which we cannot say on air.
Right. Oh, that's my favorite scene. This
The
is one we
football
can't
scene?
say on air.
The football scene?
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
played that. I played that clip over voice chat yesterday on YouTube for my guys in the race.
Yeah.
They were loving that. But can anyone in the audience guess which movie we're talking about? Go ahead and comment below if you have any idea of the Hollywood box office smash hit that we are talking about right now.
I believe one of the last movies Dennis Quaid made before he went nuts. Randy Quaid? Randy Quaid. Last movie he made before he went completely off his meds.
But he did so well in the National Lampoon's movies. Were those before?
That was before.
Okay. Ooh, I think it's showing Skylar Carnes might have had a problem here. P5, Skylar Carnes driving that 19 machine. Looks like
He seems fine.
Got in the Jalen battle and got spun in the carousel. Almost collected a bunch of cars.
Oh boy.
When was this?
And lost a couple of positions in that mix.
Yeah, there it is.
Ah, I see. Got a
Yeah.
replay of it.
Had a little bit of a scuffle with the 27 machine in that carousel. It's a very dangerous
yeah.
area. Yes. Yeah.
Well, it looked like Jalen was going into pit when it happened.
Ooh. Okay. So another very similar situation to Joey Berge, only Skylar didn't get pushed on the pit road. It was kind of the opposite effect.
Absolutely.
You know, it almost looked like Skylar was doing a reverse entry and could have just drifted it round. That would have been...
Yeah.
I think that would have been worth a few bonus points.
John Hopley was trying to pass the 21 and just plowed the tire wall on corner exit. A lot of left side damage on the 6 right now.
You know, and I also have to wonder how we're looking as far as incident counts. Because
Marshall Harris is in trouble.
Oof.
He's the only one in double digits right now, and he's at 20.
Oh.
yeah, so that means he's already served the black flag under green to get to that point.
Right.
So he's got 10 more. He's actually got 8 more for another drive-through, and then it's just 2 more and you're out at that point. So
you did up the incident limit for the road race.
I did, because originally we were going to run 45 and I was going to run it at 26 for this, but I bumped it even to 30 because we bumped it up to 64 laps. So it's only fair to bump that up as well. But yeah, because of road course and you're nipping corners here and there. Again, though, we definitely don't want to see something similar to what my IndyCar manager has experienced before, with a winner getting the trophy with 193. So
Ian Humphreys is getting a little sketchy out there as well. He just joined the double-digit club at 10. So everybody else seems to be doing pretty not too bad. And big shocker for this one, currently 0x for Francisco Villarreal and Marcus Hagman.
Ah, who would have guessed it?
And anybody shocked there?
no.
You stay out of instance and you're up at the front.
Pretty much.
Obviously, they've got the pace to match, but I don't think it's too far-fetched to think that you might get a top 5 if you manage to keep it clean this race.
That seems to be what's going on right now. Is your top 6, your all 6 cars on the lead lap are low single digit as far as incident counts, and most of it's just dipping a tire here, dipping a tire there.
So lap 32 of 64, we're right at the halfway mark, guys.
Yes, we are. We're
You think
officially
we should get a
halfway
word from
right
our-
now.
You think we should get a word from our sponsor anytime soon?
That might not sound like a half bad idea.
Yeah, so
Time to pay the
that
bills.
means- yeah, we'll be right back after this one.
Representatives are currently busy. Please stay on the line, and your call will be answered by the next available representative. The estimated hold time is currently less than 96 minutes. You are currently caller number 32.
Are you tired of getting blown out of the water by other web hosting solutions? At BladeNode.com, our affordable web hosting and quick customer support is our #1 priority. BladeNode Web Hosting was started with a mission to provide premium hosting at half the price as other hosts without sacrificing features, reliability, and 24/7 customer support with a live technician. Join our community today by visiting BladeNode.com and using promo code BLADE10 for 10% off your first package.
And we are back. Once again,
Absolutely, we're just having a little
just about took a
conversation.
lap.
Just about. And there goes Hagman to start lap 34. But
Austin Cook closing the gap quite a bit here as of late. Definitely making quite a bit of time on Marcus since the last time I had updated you guys with a time. In fact, he's chopped off a good 8 seconds or more on that lead. So I don't know if Marcus is in conservation mode or if Austin Cook is in aggressive mode or a little combination of both.
I think Hagman's kind of taking his foot off everybody's throat. Because his last lap time was a 21.5. You compare that with Austin Cook's 21.0, Francisco Villarreal's 20.6, and wow, am I seeing this right? For the 66?
19.5.
Wow.
That is very quick at this stage because they're getting about halfway through the tyre run, right?
Yeah. That's
considering,
impressive.
Yeah, considering the top 2 were in the 21s.
Yeah, but that's just straight up impressive.
Yeah.
Up 13 spots. I mean, hats off to you. Hats off to you, John.
Yeah, Johnny Nidak out of Cincinnati, Ohio area. He's having definitely one of his best career nights. I know he does have one top 5 with the league already, but I believe that was on it was the race right before Dover.
New
perhaps,
Hampshire.
It was it could have been New Hampshire. Also could have been the Coke 600.
Let me go look.
I know he had a top 5, and that was his career best.
Just before Dover? That was the Coke 600.
I think it was a Coke 600.
Yeah, that was the Coke 600. But I mean, you got to give hats off to William Brown as well. Both those guys up 13 spots from where they started, and Brown is a substitute tonight. He's just a relief driver.
But William Brown, downtown William Brown, we always called him before. This man has 10 career wins with iSNF. He has, this is his 35th start in this league as well. He's already in the season driver status, I'm sorry. And even though he is filling in for Brian Treadwell tonight in that number 48 machine, he's got a lot of experience.
I used to run in a league where there was like 3 of us in the area that I live in, and 2 of us met up for Dirt Week one time, and it was a blast.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whenever you can get together and finally put a face with the name and voice, that's usually a fun time.
Yeah, and that's what I plan to do with Brian Chu for the real-life NASCAR Daytona Speed Weeks in mid-February. Brian Chu and I are planning to get together and watch all the races and have a few adult beverages. I don't know if we're going to play the drinking game because it's not we wouldn't be at home, so it wouldn't be the at-home drinking game, right? So,
well, you could play the at-hotel drinking game.
It could be the grandstands version too.
Yeah, track drinking game.
Yeah,
there you go.
Doesn't roll off the tongue just as well.
The only problem I can foreseeably give you for doing it at the track is
get kicked out.
Beers are $9 a piece.
Ooh.
But I mean, that's usually a pretty good deal. I mean, like in the movie that Steve Carell was in, and he says, "Well, where are you guys going? It's $9 beer night." That's a pretty good deal. That is from the.
I'm sorry, I can get a 30 rack for $12.
Good deal for London prices, maybe.
Yeah, no.
Famously,
when you can go into a convenience store and buy a 30 rack for $12, I'm not paying $9 for a beer. Thank you very much.
Paid as much as 11, and that was in the JFK airport in New York, where they will sock it to your butt every time.
Oh, they do the same thing at O'Hare. I flew through Chicago one time, and I said, "Let me get a beer and a burger," and the bill came to like $50. A beer, a burger, and an order of fries.
That's just every airport, though.
I'm sorry. That better come with at least a reach around.
Marcus Hagman with a 19-second gap now over P2 Austin Cook. It looks like Francisco still holding on to third. Johnny Nidak fourth, and Skylar Karn still fifth here on lap 38 of 64. So we still have quite a bit of racing to go because we still have another round of pit stops. Should be coming up here within the next 5 or 6 laps, guys. And as long as these guys don't make too many mistakes on pit road, I think it's going to end up pretty similar to where we're at now. It's hard to say.
Well, the big question is, how long can Francisco Villarreal hold off John Nidak Jr.? Because he's right there.
He's fast. Johnny is just absolutely flying out there in that 66 machine tonight. Like I said, having a career night. I don't know how he's handling that race car as well as he is. I wish I could learn something from him, but he is already putting pressure on that 23 machine right now. We do have an official battle for third going on here as
Toyota and Toyota Crime.
Yeah. Which TRD is going to come out ahead of the other. Time will tell here as they get ready to go around into, I believe the S curve's coming up. Is that correct? Or
no, they're in the uphill right now.
Okay.
But am I the only other one that thinks it's funny that if you actually say what Toyota Racing Development spells out, it says turd?
Right, and that's what I call it because I'm just not a Toyota fan. So, I mean, every broadcaster has...
here we go.
Yes, yep. Inside of the carousel here, Johnny Nidak. Actually, that is not the carousel.
No, just coming up to the S's.
They're
now.
coming into the S's.
Well then. But yeah, every announcer or whoever, they all have their favorite brand of car. Of course, mine is Ford, but my least favorite is Toyota. But
rumor has it my favorite's coming back in 2023. Sorry.
That's my second favorite. So.
And it would be the same manufacturer that Tony Stewart's wife is aligned with.
Grab life by the horns.
Don't you always?
Whoa.
Oh!
Who was that?
Who was that? Is that Casey
Casey
Thompson?
Tomlinson.
Yeah.
That's a weird place to be spinning.
Well, we do like to call him spin cycle in this league.
Oi!
Yeah.
That almost ended poorly. Thank
It
goodness
really
he held
could
the
have.
brake. Yeah, because that happened right in front of the 66 and 23. Luckily, he held the brake so they could figure out which way they had to go.
Looks like Carl Rourke might soon be making a move on Joey Manis as well. Cook
Not
behind
too much further
him.
down the line. But Manis is missing his hood. When did
Yeah.
that happen?
Probably quite a while ago.
That might have been some contact with the outside pit, the outside wall, and one of the 90-degree rights, from what I recall.
That's Austin Cook working his way around those two lap cars right now. As Rourke has a big blink.
Oh, Manis was off.
And Joey
How did that
Manis just
happen?
pretty much, yeah, I don't know. He just kind of like pulled off into the dirt and just like, I don't know what happened there.
Oh yeah, he just pulled off.
Yeah.
I thought maybe he spun the tyres up on exit or something, but no.
And it looked like he was just trying to get out of Cook's way.
He lost a position in about 5 seconds doing it, so...
Yeah.
I'm ecstatic for Nidak in that 66. I just can't get enough of seeing him do so well tonight. I'm
Absolutely.
wondering where his buddy Pete Van Sprundle is. I haven't seen him in the past few weeks. I know he's hyped about going into next season, especially the ride that we've lined up for him and everything. I just don't. Maybe he just doesn't have the track, or maybe he's just kind of staying low key until next season starts, and he'll give it his all at that point. So I know Johnny and Pete are really, really good friends, especially here in iRacing. So I can't imagine Johnny. I'm sure he's pretty lonely right now, but he's focused nonetheless. And sometimes you don't need your best friend on air necessarily to get the job done on Sundays, because he sure is showing he can do it anyway.
Well, it's probably just one of those situations where, he knows that it's a tight points battle. We're coming into the last couple of races of the season, and he doesn't want to be, and I'm using air quotes here, that guy.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
And we all know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, and Joey Berge is definitely calling the 21 machine that guy tonight. He's already expressed his dissatisfaction. But, to be fair, Clarence, he's brand new to iSNF. I believe this is his very first iSNF Cup start. So, going along with what you said, yeah, you don't want to be that guy and be in the way. You want to try and be out of the way as much as possible, especially if you're brand new. But when you are brand new, you got to look the other direction too. There is another side of that coin.
Whoa, Austin Cook's round.
Ooh. Austin Cook and Ian Humphreys too, according to...
Just had a spin on the way out of the carousel. Back on his way.
Yeah, just stepped on his own junk.
Now we've got Skylar Carnes looking at Francisco Villarreal as well.
Villarreal's having issues.
Yeah,
Marshall Moran just crashed in the carousel too, I do believe.
Who did?
Marshall Moran in the 22 machine in the 12th spot. He spun exactly the same place that Austin Cook did. So it's just a matter of carousel exit.
Well, like we mentioned in the pre-race, it's a cold track. It's actually a damp track. It's just this side of being rainy here in Sonoma, as they are in the middle of monsoon season. And that lap car, the 22, just held up Francisco Villarreal. That let Skylar Carnes get to him. Katie, bar the door.
We've got ourselves a battle
gonna
of
run.
and they are alliance mates. They are in the same team chat, so there's definitely going to be a little bit of communication here. I'm
there
sure.
you go.
Villarreal into the pits.
Yeah. So
Calling
we're
no
not.
moss on that set of tires.
Oh yeah, we're not going to see a disaster. They're talking to one another, I'm sure. So. Oh, that was oh my gosh, that was Carl Rourke that was spun right near the start-finish line. Carl Rourke in 12th spot. He spun there and almost collected Skylar Carnes on his trip past. Holy moly, just barely missed him.
Whoa.
Wasn't just Skylar he almost collected. He almost got the 66 as well.
Yeah, I'm watching the replay now. Oi.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Tow it, tow it, tow it. No!
And just as he was backing up, he almost took Skylar out too. Oh my gosh.
Just hold your line.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Hold it
That
where
was definitely
you are,
a Code
sir.
Brown moment.
20 to go, guys.
Yeah.
Can I? And if I'm seeing this right, that is Francisco Villarreal, who is a lap down now to your leader, does have the fresh tires under his Toyota. Marcus Hagman, though, still has to make his money stop. And I think he's probably going to milk this as long as he can, being as he has a 30-second lead over Austin Cook.
Oh, and I have to give a shout out as well right now to John Hopley running P9 right now. Another non-road course ringer out there, just really kind of riding around the track. And Marshall Moran, who is driving a Penske car tonight in number 22 machine, running P11. So,
and the 6 does it again.
Nice job for this. Yeah, 42 off track once again as well, just racking up some more incident points.
I'm afraid the
Let me see if anybody's close.
you get the power of the commentator's curse as soon as you join the booth.
Marshall Harris has put it on the hauler, so he doesn't have to worry about getting any more incident points. Ian Humphreys up to 15, Marshall Moran up to 12, and John Hopley up to 10.
Yeah, he just had a spin at the carousel, just while you were talking about him, actually.
And Carl Rourke is he's at 11 with a meatball flag.
It's like I'm stuck on an indefinite meatball flag.
Yeah, you've got that unfortunate glitch that has come out recently in iRacing that if there's too much damage on the car, the crew can't get the jack under it. So I hate to see that happen, Rhea, but that's something allegedly that they're working on.
But you know what's interesting though? I didn't even have damage when I parked it. I pulled off on the curb. I was actually in running condition with no damage, and I pulled off on the exit to pit road on the shoulder and towed in with no damage on my car.
I would
install
install some security cameras then.
I would report that glitch.
Yeah, my toe never took.
That's weird.
Someone must come with a baseball bat.
Repairs needed, and it never towed it. It towed in, but then it didn't do anything.
Yeah, that's very strange. I would definitely report that glitch, as that's something new that I haven't seen yet in iRacing. As looks like Cook has gone pit side. Skylar Carnes in, and the 66 up to the number P2.
Yeah.
You got to wonder how much longer Hagman's going to stay out. He's in the window of you can make it from here.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll probably just be worth him coming in this time around, to be honest. There's not really much gain in staying out. And yeah.
So that's going to let Jalen Battle and Francisco Villarreal get back on the lead lap, just as I say that. battle follows Hagman onto pit road. So the question is, when is the 66 going to come pit side? As the pit delta right now...
Yep, around about a minute probably. Lost time.
54 seconds is right around the non-damage pit delta before in fuel. There we go.
Well, Hackman's already come out, so
Yes, he has.
66 isn't even going to inherit the lead. That just shows how far the 54
Yeah, that's
of Marcus
wild.
Hackman was ahead.
That's absolutely wild. Now, unfortunately, when the 66 does come pit side, he's probably going to fall to at least 4th.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing the math in my head right now. He could possibly drop down to 5th.
I think
Because
that's likely, yeah.
Carnes, Cook, and Villarreal have all been laying down some pretty decent laps.
Yeah, and Carnes isn't that far away from Villarreal, so
Right.
I think if he falls to one, he'll fall to the other.
I mean, he's definitely going to fall to Cook because that's only a 22-second delta between the two of them. And then you're another 10 back to Villarreal and another 5 back to Carnes. So...
Well, we shall see as he's coming into the pits now.
Just as I say that, Carnes falls off the face just a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I'll have a look why that is.
I'm not seeing it.
Is it going to be an elevation change? Yep.
Oh, yeah. There
Yeah,
it is.
I think that was just purely maybe elevation changing a bit too far away with brake bias.
That's exactly what that was.
Hmm. So it's good to know that I've retained my power as a commentator of cursing people. But this
So you can get your hate mail coming now
close.
if you're a driver that Jason has cursed. That is care of ESBN Towers, London, England, P.O. Box OICU 812.
For the record, leaving the session and coming back in does not fix the glitch.
Oh, that's not good.
That's unfortunate.
And Rio, we do have a question if you're going to be playing the at-track drinking game at Daytona. John Leach wants to know if it's going to be Busch Light.
Absolutely not. I am not a canned beer or really much of a domestic beer fan unless it's a microbrew. I am what they call a beer snob.
Big Blue 22s?
I'm sorry?
Big Blue 22s?
No, I would probably in Florida. I'm either going to go with, I'm probably going to end up going with a Key West Sunset Ale. That's my favorite go-to in the Florida market.
Yeah, but if you're at the track, you're going to be getting Bud Light, possibly Busch.
So none of the above. I would rather drink water in that case.
Bring a backpack.
Bring your own cooler and go to the infield.
Yeah. Well, actually, Brian Chu does have infield RV pass tickets things.
There you go.
It's possible he'll have the RV all stocked up and we'll, yeah.
Well, if that's the case, firing back shots of Crown.
Well, it'd probably be Captain. The Captain and I seem to sail pretty good at sea together, especially on the coast there in Florida. So,
well, then you need to get yourself the three wise men. That's the Captain, Johnny, and Jack. And drink enough of those, you will think you are the three wise men.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. So what do we got going on?
I'm looking at the lap Willie Brown just laid down, 17.42.
Ooh.
This late
Yeah.
into the race, that's impressive.
Downtown William Brown. Yeah.
Fastest lap of the race still belongs to Marcus Hagman, though, with a 1:17.10.
He's got this one pretty much all in the books if he just stays focused. And he is a very focused gentleman, so
I can vouch for that. I've driven with him in some endurance races, and he's actually coached me to become a better driver in prototypes. But yeah, I mean, definitely has that road course prowess.
Yeah, I mean, I bet he wishes he was in a prototype at the moment because
Yeah, no crap, right?
that would be a quite a lot easier than this is.
Well, for most prototypes,
Yeah.
unless you're talking about that monster that they call the Nissan. When that turbo hits, you better be pointing straight or else you're in trouble.
So Austin Cook running P2, 35 and a half seconds behind P1. So Austin not looking like he's going to be able to snatch this one out unless there's a huge mistake by the 54 at this point with 13 to go. Still one heck of a night for points for Austin Cook nonetheless. Kind of thing right there in it.
Well, he's doing just about everything he had to do. The only problem for him is Marcus Hagman's doing everything he has to do as well.
Yeah, and he's doing it just even that much better.
Just about to clinch the point for most laps led.
Though,
Well, Austin did come in with the pole for 5 points, so there is that.
Paul went to Joey Burgee, no?
Yeah, I was going to say,
that's
Burgee
right.
got the pole. Austin Cook
Correct.
started outside P1.
I stand corrected.
So that's not a bonus point for Austin, unfortunately.
Oh.
I don't think he's led a lap tonight.
I would assume not, no.
Now, Rhea, do you guys give bonus points for clean race?
Yes.
Okay, so right now, Villarreal and Hagman are the only two eligible for that.
Okay. Yeah, we give 5 points for 0x as long as you finish at least 95% of the race in running condition when the checkered flag flies. You had 5 points for pole, 5 points for leading a lap, and 5 points for most laps led. No points for most lap or most positions gained. I know that was said at some point during the season, but
I got confused. I apologize
I
for
know,
that because there
it's
is
fine.
a league that they do that.
right.
Which
And we do
currently, if you did do that, it would go to John Nidak Jr.
Yeah, and we do something similar to the points breakdown for Indy. We run the Indy point system, the way that they currently generate points, but we do something equivalent to a 5-point bonus in here for a clean race. We give 1 point there because that's essentially what you get for the same thing as leading a lap. So
How do you keep that all straight? I have no idea, but
there is
it's great having you in the booth with us, Rhea. Thank you.
Well, keeping it all straight is easy because I am going to plug this gentleman, Mr. Clinton Sneed, who runs the SimRacerHub.com. He's actually kind of somewhat of a sponsor of ours. He, in trade for promoting our league, I'm supposed to be promoting his website. And you guys, iRacing fans out there, check out SimRacerHub.com. It is perfect for any league out there, especially it's a league owner's best friend, if you will.
Absolutely.
you just copy and paste the file into there, and it loads all the pretty data in there, and you can edit everything you need to make sure everything is good to go for your drivers. And then all your stats from day one of your league creation to current day is all in there. You can look back, see what each driver has done over time, and you can create your own point systems like we just mentioned. And
It's a great site. It's an absolute great site. And if any league owner out there that doesn't use it needs to have their head examined.
I agree. 10 laps to go, guys.
10 laps to go, and
Austin Cook's
Marcus
round
Hagman,
again.
Yeah. Ooh. This could get interesting.
Looks like he came in pretty hot, but he saved it. Ooh, no, he didn't.
Turn 2, that's the thing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A lot of guys have been losing it at the top of two all night long.
Didn't hit anything, but it does mean now that the 66 is only 7.5 seconds back.
Absolutely.
One
So
more of
needs to-
those and right in reach.
Yeah, and he needs to stay focused because it looked like he was just going full send it mode down through there, and he's not going to win the race. And so, Austin, you know, if you're listening, you're not going to win the race tonight unless something happens to the 54 at this point. But you need to get P2. Stay focused. Just run your own race because the 66 can catch up to you. There is enough time for him to do that. And if you keep making mistakes like that, you're going to get P3 instead of P2.
And that's what a good team owner does. Coach your drivers.
Yep.
And that's why you had 2 drivers in the chase.
Well, myself included.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I coached myself.
That's fine, but Penske, the iSNF version of Penske Racing was able to put 2 drivers in the chase, and that's why it's team leadership.
Yeah, I mean, Austin's a stand-up driver. He did win the championship last season, so I mean, so although he doesn't have any wins this season, he was definitely looking to grab a dub here. I'm still proud of him nonetheless, and his dad, Tim, I'm sure is watching out there. Tim, I appreciate your support too, for allowing him to race in this league as long as he has. Ooh, Austin Cook again.
Villarreal.
No, did we say Villarreal was on a 0x? Because he's not anymore.
He was.
Oh.
That's
Just full
Probably
send it mode going into the top of the S's.
yeah.
Too much rear brake bias and overcooked it.
That's a bit of pressure off the 66 now.
A little bit.
Maybe the 19's going to start sending it a bit more.
Well, going through the carousel, he's going to be able to see Villarreal.
Yeah.
Villarreal almost gets into the tire barrier going through the carousel. Something's wrong with the 23.
Have a look on board to see how he's driving.
I don't see any damage on the car. It's just the handling's gone completely in the toilet.
I don't see anything particularly out of the ordinary from an onboard shot. Like something's actually happened to Collins. Turn 2?
Yeah, just got a little twitchy, and he got a little twitchy too coming to the
Turn 4, I
the
think, actually.
bottom of the turn 4, and then turn 6. He got into it a little bit going into the downhill just before you cross over the shutdown area for the drag strip. He was a little twitchy coming through there. As now he's trying to get by Marshall Moran in the 22, and he's caught Moran in probably what could be the worst possible spot to do so.
See that drivers JB Banner and Johnny Castle have also encountered the glitch throughout the race.
I see this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Castle had a throughput just as we were starting to grid up.
Yeah, but he came back on and managed to grab 5 incident count. He then manually disconnected after that because he was stuck in the pits, like me. JB Banner only has 1 incident number, so there's no way that he would have a meatball flag for that.
Right.
And so the same thing happened to him. He got stuck, and then you've got, it's just there's some glitches here with this new update.
15 drivers still circulating the track. Only 6 of them, though, are on the lead lap. That would be your leader, Marcus Hagman, Austin Cook, John Nidak Jr., Francisco Villarreal, Skylar Carnes, and William Brown. Those are your 6 on the lead lap. And then we get to, coming into tonight, was your points leader, Jalen Battle in the 27th, currently 2 laps down in 7th. So definitely not the greatest night for the guys that were leading the point standings. It seems to be a curse. You lead the point standings and something bad happens to you the following race.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a much smaller grid than we're used to here, so it's not necessarily actually that bad in terms of it, because Jalen Battle is still in 7th, which it's still okay. Obviously, it's not what he'd want.
Yeah, but coming into tonight, he was 18 points to the good over our current race leader, Marcus Hagman. Marcus just ate 15, currently 15 points out of that by having the fastest lap of the race, leading a lap, and leading the most laps.
Yeah, and then you take normal points into account, then
exactly.
Battle's got it all to do coming into Nashville next week then.
Yeah, there's going to be a slugfest in Music City next week, so you're not going to want to miss a moment of action, folks. So if you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you don't miss the championship round next week, as we will be in the Music City at the Nashville Superspeedway.
I have to say, another one of those tracks that I've not seen a race at before. I've actually just not seen the track before.
It kind of reminds me of a flatter Chicagoland. As yikes! I think my heart just jumped out of my chest as John Hopley spun it going through the carousel and almost collected Hagman. As we are 5 laps to go. Hagman, Cook, Nidak, your top 3.
Yeah, I just had a replay of that, and yeah,
that was
fair to
Code
say I
Brown
had
moment.
the same reaction.
Ooh, it looked like Moran in the 22 had some trouble there, got collected up in the dirt.
Joey Manis was one of them too. Right there at the top of the hill, Manis was with him when it happened. So if you need your fire suit clean and you're in the greater Sears Point area, you want to go to Mr. Ming's over on 10th Street. Cheers.
I've actually driven right past the Sears Point road course here, Raceway. Never got a chance to actually see a race there, but interesting nonetheless. And the same goes with Nashville Superspeedway. Funny enough, I have not turned a lap on it in iRacing, but I have driven past it so many times off the freeway system there between Lebanon and I believe that ends up in McMinnville or somewhere down that way.
Yes.
Yeah. And
remind me, I need to show you the town hall meeting where they wanted to start running races at that track again. It's the funniest. It's just a complete facepalm moment when they opened it up to the public, and it's cringe. It's just pure cringe if you know racing. But yeah, good times. It's a fun track to get around, But Real, while we got you here, and I know this is the penultimate race of the season, I got to ask you while we got you, what are your thoughts as this season starts to come to a close?
What? Be more specific.
Well, you've had a lot of drivers rotating in and out. You've had a lot of trials and tribulations with everything that iRacing has thrown at you, from tire changes, damage models, aero packages that they've changed up mid-season. Just what's your takeaway so far?
I mean, I think iRacing has definitely got our best interest in mind, but I think that they could really do a lot more to make it user-friendly for league owners, such as being able to kind of check boxes or uncheck boxes in the actual league roster area, so that way if you have a new driver that you're unsure of, that you want to sit out for that race, but they're in the league, you can opt them out by doing that. And then, there's some other things that they've kind of thrown our way that are not necessarily the most user-friendly, but I think overall, as far as these tracks are concerned, the damage models and things, they've gotten better and better each and every update. I think what my biggest complaint is the net code, and you could pretty much ask any driver and they'll agree with that. And it seems like it gets worse every update.
Well, it takes about 2 weeks before it starts to figure itself out.
Yeah. And, my final takeaway of this season as it starts wrapping up is we're coming out with a whole new rules package ourselves here at iSNF, as we see Marcus Hagman wrapping it up here, making a final lap here with the white flag waving in the air. But we're coming out with a whole new rules package of our own. And a lot of these drivers in here, if they don't stay above an 80 average or so in our own kind of world of points system, they may be seeing themselves in a different roster next season too. So I'm going to definitely try to up the ante a little bit and get some better drivers throughout next season, so we have less cautions and more talent and skill on the track each and every Sunday for you guys to watch at home.
Well put. As Hagman comes through the S's for the final time, getting ready to come into the carousel. That is the 14 of Isaac Wilson in front of him. Isaac Wilson not going to go another lap down. As this Nidak slides it, coming through the carousel, stays off the tire barrier, but across the line for the final time. Give it to the Swede in the Slayer Chevy Camaro. That is Marcus Hagman coming home with the victory. 42 seconds to the good. Austin Cook just now starting through the S's, sitting in second place. As good grief. I mean, what a performance we saw out of Hagman. 0 incident points throughout the race. Fastest lap of the race. Most laps led.
Fantastic race.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, just amazing. Amazing job.
Basically, he was the Swedish chef of the race. He literally cooked everyone tonight.
I'll let you tell him you said that.
Turned everyone into meatballs. Only he eats his Swedish meatballs with ketchup, he says.
Ew.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My Italian grandmother is turning over in her grave right now.
Oh, I am, and I'm still alive.
As John Nidak Jr. coming home in third, Francisco Villarreal hanging on to fourth. But I'll tell you right now, the driver of the 66 has my vote for ESBN Driver of the Night.
Agree with that statement. Fantastic.
Yeah.
He went 14 spots. He drove the wheels off that 66, and that is his career best finish in iSNF. Congratulations, John, on a podium finish.
Absolutely. As I'm just now looking for our.
I see Johnny here. I'm going to move him up for you.
I'm working on it.
Oh, you do? Okay.
And I do not see Austin. Why am I not seeing Austin?
Oh.
There he is.
Okay.
He was hiding
You
on
got,
me.
you got him? Okay.
But joining us now, driver of the Slayer, number 54, Chevy Camaro, as he does a Swedish victory lap. Good grief. You're making my head hurt, Marcus.
Yeah, mine too, since I'm in VR.
Oh, God. Well, Marcus, I hate to say it this way, but you completely stunk up the show tonight. But congratulations on the well-needed victory.
Well, thank you. I feel so bad for Joey Burgess, who got put in pits by another car. I don't really know what happened there, but sucks to be him. It's wonderful to be me. So I'm not complaining. A win
There's
is a
no
win.
conceit in your family, is there? Because you got it all.
No, that's not much.
But Marcus, I mean, just a dominating performance here tonight. Led a lap, most laps led, fastest lap of the event. I mean, you got all the bonus points you could possibly get other than the pole award. And with your finishing position, that should move you into the points lead going into the season finale next week at Nashville.
That was my mission. After Joey left, I actually was driving away from Austin, and since I had like a 17-second lead, I didn't have to push it. I just took it easy and saved my stuff. And I think Austin overdrove his car too much, so I was pulling away even more. So yeah, that was actually kind of lonely, but not doing any stupid mistakes with the lap cars. You just keep patience and yeah, take it home.
Absolutely. But, Marcus, we heard a lot of guys complaining earlier that, this track was kind of slick, especially on cold tires, being as it's got a real high humidity level right now. What were your thoughts the first couple of laps coming out of the pit?
Yeah, it's slick, but you just have to adapt to it. I mean, if you keep complaining and don't do anything personally about it, it's gonna keep being slick. So if you just nag about it but doesn't change your driving style, nothing's gonna change. It's gonna continue to be slick. So yeah, since I got that bigger lead, I could take it really easy and not overheat the tires or overusing the tires, just taking it easy. So for me, that was no problem.
Well, not a big shocker that, a road course ringer actually comes home with a road course victory. But, Marcus, we do change gears. Championship is going to be on that 1.5 miles in Music City next week. What are your thoughts going into that event?
I've always seen myself as an oval guy, not a road guy. So, yeah, I think I got equally chance there. I have to look a little bit at the championship standings and drive by that. So if it's enough for me to be second or just enough to be right behind Jalen and Francisco, then I'm not going to push too hard. I'm going to just try to stay behind them.
All right, then, Marcus, who do you need to thank before we let you go celebrate with your team here tonight?
Besides me.
Yeah, everybody at iSNF, you guys at ESBN SRM for broadcasting and doing an awesome job. Of course, my own team Force Esport back in Sweden, and the sponsors we have, Kappa Bar, Cooler Master, and now we also have Mabi rental cars with us. So big thank you to them.
Okay, now Marcus, I do need to ask you the biggest question. How
ahead.
do you pronounce the name of your hometown?
Vingåker. So
Gesundheit.
yeah, your co-sitter there was almost spot on when he tried it.
Nice. I'm
Well done,
I'm
Jason.
glad I got close.
Well done, Jason.
Yeah, well done.
Well, Marcus, we'll let you go celebrate with your team, and we'll see you next week in Nashville.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
So that was our winner, Marcus Hagman. And joining Rhea now is the driver of the 33, Mr. Austin Cook.
And congratulations on a P2 tonight. Driver of that number 33 Penske machine. Didn't have quite enough for a dub, but you did a lot better than you originally kind of thought coming into this with that grip package. Walk us through your race. I saw you had a couple of spins in the carousel and also turn 2. Was that just overdriving the car, trying to make up a little ground, or just did the track change on you, or what?
Yeah, mix of both. I mean, I was trying to overdrive it to catch Marcus, but then when I spun in turn 2, that was just completely, my rear tires lost it, got loose once, and just backed it into the corner.
Points day, though, and I'm sure you gained some ground on those ahead of you in points. I mean, I know you're more of a road course ringer than you are an oval, but you have a lot of P2s this year, even on oval. So I wouldn't really rule out you getting possibly a dub next week at Nashville. Coming out of one like this, going into a track like that, what are your thoughts? And do you think you got something for him next week?
I know I got something for him next week. Nashville is one of my better ovals. I have about probably 10 wins there, so going into next week, I feel pretty confident about my skills.
It's awesome. Got anything for him, Tony?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, congratulations on a P2. Do you have anybody out there you'd like to thank or give a word to?
Thank y'all for putting out the broadcast. Thank you, Rhea, for doing the race. Thank God for getting me to a P2, and thank my family for giving me the opportunity to be here.
I appreciate it, Austin, and we'll see you next week, hopefully, in another podium position.
Would love that. See y'all later.
All right. And the next one.
I believe Jason has our ESBN driver of the night with him now.
Yeah.
How you doing?
John, first of all, congratulations on the P3, up 14 spots to get there. Just talk us through how that went for you.
Well, it started out kind of rough. When we went from practice to qualifying, for whatever reason, I had to recalibrate my steering wheel and pedals, and I had to do it 3 times. So eventually, when it took, and I went out on track, I got 3/4 through my lap, and then it kicked to the race. So I was like, oh man, well, at least it'll be fun and interesting. So maybe if I'd have started a little closer, it might have been somewhat of a threat. I don't know, because some of these guys are really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, it honestly looked like Hagman was in an entire league of his own, so I'm not sure it would have even made a difference for anyone to be closer to him, to be honest, but that doesn't take away from what you've done today, because starting 17th, I believe, as you said, with those issues, that's still massive. I'm pretty sure you had some quite nice overtakes as well. Were there any that stood out?
There were a couple. I want to say, if I remember correctly, it was the 6 car going into was that turn 10 or turn 11? The hairpin.
10.
I outbroke him on the inside, and that was a lot of fun. I love these kind of racetracks because they're challenging, 1, and 2, they test your ability to be consistent. That is the key at tracks like this, is consistency. If you get the same braking point, the same throttle point, the same apexes lap after lap after lap, you'll finish well at these places. And I really, really enjoy racing at road courses.
Yeah, well...
Wheels off that 66 car today, you were fast.
Man, gosh, it was just so much fun. I love racing in this league. I could just tell you, it's a blast. Just the way it's put together, I really enjoy. I enjoy the guys I race around and the ladies. It's an all around good time. I thank my teammates for for being here with me, Pete Van Sprundle. I need to give him a call, see how he's doing. But it's a lot of fun, and that's what this is supposed to be: is a good time to where you can compete and not be taken out just because of someone's carelessness. So I thoroughly enjoy this series.
Yeah, well,
I appreciate it much.
yeah,
Well said.
absolute props to Rhea there for that. But is there anyone else that you need to thank before we let you go and celebrate your podium?
My parents, they watch or listen every week.
Hi,
So I
Mom.
want to, yeah, hey Mom. So I want to thank them. They're loyal supporters. They've supported me ever since I first started sim racing way back in like '99. And I want to thank my wife and kids for just being the awesome people they are. And all you guys for what you do, man. I really appreciate it. This is a lot of fun, and at the end of a long week, it's good just to be able to do this and have a good time.
Yeah, well, congratulations once again. Then we'll let you go celebrate. Enjoy.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
So that was our third place finisher, rounding out our podium. Jason, I'm going to start with you, as you've not really done a lot here at Sonoma before. What is your takeaway being this being your first race here?
Be careful. That's the main thing that I've learned from watching this. Obviously, I did a few laps before just to see how it was as well, and it's immediately obvious where you need to really be careful with the car, especially on those elevation changes. Like, you can send it a bit more through the S's, but those elevation changes do kill you, and you really have to be careful to not hit anyone as well. Try not be hit by anyone, because you can have a spinning car and you're not going to see it if it's just the other side of a crest.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. The uphill section of this track is very treacherous. And then you've got to really have your brake bias dialed almost perfect when you get to the bottom of the downhill, just before you get to the S's, because that turn has caught a lot of guys out tonight. And then, of course, coming out of the carousel, you've got to be real, just ever so gentle on the throttle pedal, because we saw a lot of guys step on their own junk tonight and spin the cars out.
Yeah, it's the type of thing that you don't really tend to experience all that much with the oval racing, is just having to be so extremely gentle on the throttle. I guess the banking helps out a decent amount with that. But yeah, overall I think it was a good race, and obviously a fantastic win for Marcus Hagman. And he's in a great position going into the final race at Nashville next week.
Absolutely. It's going to be a shootout, to say the least. Jalen Battle had a night he just as soon forget. So, he's going to be, punching up to try to get the championship. Francisco Villarreal right there, coming home in fourth place tonight. Hagman, with all the bonus points he earned, that pretty much, negated, the points lead in front of him. And Austin Cook made up a ton of ground tonight. So, I mean, it's going to be a 4-car slugfest next week in Nashville. Rhea, what's your thoughts as we get ready to close it out?
My thoughts are going to be factual, because I will be loading up the points in just 2 shakes of a lamb's tail here. And so I won't have to give you an opinion. I can give you facts. And that is going to be happening here in 5 seconds. Okay.
And,
so
I've got it now. So, yeah.
Yeah, Marcus Hagman will Let's see now. Let's see the standings. Yeah, Marcus Hagman now with the points lead over Francisco. So Jalen drops 2 spots after tonight. It really tightened some things up, but it looks like Austin's still in it. Something devastating would have to happen to Marcus next week, though.
Mathematically, he's not out of it,
Correct.
but a lot of chips have to fall his way to be able to pull this one off. But it's really a slugfest between Hagman, Villarreal, and Battle. 21 points separating those 3 drivers. And I mean, this is what you hope for as a league owner, I would say. Going into the final race of the season, and you've got a core group that they're in an almost must-win situation to come out with the championship. Hello.
I'm very proud of really all my drivers, not just the Penske drivers, but I appreciate everybody in this league who has gave a lot of time, effort, funding, just in mentoring other drivers. It's been a long season. It's been a long 2 seasons. I have drivers that date back almost 2 years as well that are still in here with me. So it's becoming more like a tight-knit community here. We may hate each other on the track, but we love each other off the track, and it really shows when I'm looking at the overall grand scheme of things here, and see some of these guys that put in as much time and effort as they do, doing so well in the points at the end of the season. Drivers like John Hopley, who he just relentlessly practices during the week, making the chase for the first time in his career this season. Not one that anybody would have picked. Very much a dark horse, but he's sitting P7 right now in the points. I mean, he's not going to win the championship, and he probably knew that going into it. But at the same time, that's an improvement, a major improvement over last season. And, just proud of all these guys. I mean, I thank you very much for all my admins out there. I couldn't do it without you. You guys carried a lot of weight when I lost my grandfather as well, and it's an honor to lead such a great group of guys and gals out there.
Absolutely. And Jason, what do you say we bring this one home and go through the final finishing order?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll start us off with the top 10. Obviously, Marcus Hagman with the pretty dominant win there after an unfortunate incident for Joey Burgee put him out of the race. He was 41.3 seconds ahead of Austin Cook in second, who he himself was 13 ahead of John Nitsch Jr. In third. Sorry, I think I got the pronunciation wrong there. Could someone say it again?
Rhea?
That was in front of me. My apologies.
I pronunciation of the 66 again. Sorry, I completely blanked me.
Johnny Nidak.
There you go, Nidak. It's just we've been saying it wrong for so long. It's implanted in my brain. So apologies for that.
Sorry,
Francisco.
John.
Yeah, Francisco Villarreal in fourth with Skylar Carnes in fifth, and William Brown last car on the lead lap in sixth. Jalen Battle in seventh, no longer in the lead of the championship. Isaac Wilson in 8th, John Hopley 9th, and Marshall Moran is in 10th.
Joey Manis coming home in P11. P12 goes to Mike Iskandar, Clarence Prince in 13th, Casey Tomlinson in 14th, Carl Rourke in 15th, Ian Humphreys coming home in 16th, Damian Mulvey, Marshall Harris, Joey Burgee, and JB Banner rounding out your top 20. Rhea Ferris and Johnny Castle coming home in 21st and 22nd. So I believe that is going to about do it for us tonight. For Miss Rhea Ferris, for Mr. Jason Sawford, this is Tony Trapasso. Remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.
Good night.